Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory, ain't no way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't into wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Welcome back to another Twisted Tuesdays. I am your host, Arthur Nikki Nicole, and this is the Breaking the Silence podcast, where we have the conversations that challenge us to think a little deeper. Tonight, I want to ask you a question that made me stop and reflect. Do you miss the person, or do you miss the version of them you created in your mind? Before you answer, really think about that. And when we come back, let's talk about it. I've learned those can be two completely different people, right? Lately, I found myself thinking about the people who've come and gone in my life. Some were friends, some were family, some were people I loved, some were people I truly believed would always be there. And when they left, I told myself, I miss them. But one day I had to be honest with myself and ask, do I really miss them, or do I miss who I believed they could become? That question changed the way I looked at a lot of relationships. I realized I have a habit that I think a lot of us have. I don't always see people for who they are. But Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them, right? And sometimes I see who they could become instead. I imagine the loyal friend, the supportive partner, the person who's finally going to choose me, the one who's going to apologize. Even though y'all apologies really don't mean anything to me, because I've learned over the years when people apologize to me, they apologize, but then the behavior repeated. So to me, what was the point of apologizing if you was going to repeat the way that you treated me? The one who's eventually going to change, the one who's finally going to show up. And before I know it, I've become emotionally attached to a version of someone that only exists in my imagination. So when that friendship ends, when that relationship falls apart, or when someone walks away, Sometimes what hurts isn't losing the actual person, but sometimes what hurts is losing the future that you imagine with them. The conversations that I thought we would have, the memories I thought we would make, the relationship I thought we'd eventually build. See, I wasn't just grieving people, I was grieving the possibilities. And that's not easy. It's not an easy thing to admit, right? Because nobody wants to believe they've been holding on to potential instead of reality. And I've caught myself missing effort that was never there, waiting on love that never came, expecting respect that was never given, believing consistency was just around the corner, right? But when I look back now, they were showing me exactly who they were. I just kept hoping I see something different. I've learned that sometimes I wasn't loving who they actually were. I was living a story I created about who they could become. Who they could become. I kept rewriting their actions in my mind, making excuses as always, giving them grace they never even asked for, believing that if I just waited a little bit longer, things would change. Sometimes they didn't. But one lesson life has taught me is this: healing started when I stopped grieving who I wanted someone to be and started accepting who they actually were. That doesn't mean that I stopped loving them. It doesn't mean I became bitter. It simply means that I stopped asking reality to become my imagination. And for a lot of us, that's hard to do. Maybe you had that friend who only called when they needed something. Or maybe you've been in a relationship where you kept saving them, or you kept saying, you know what, they'll change, things will get better. They're just going through something right now. Meanwhile, their actions never matched your expectations, right? The signs was there, but most of the time we don't want to see them. And today I've learned that peace comes from accepting people for who they are, not who you hope they'll become. Because you know what? I deserve relationships where I don't have to imagine respect. I don't have to imagine consistency. I don't have to imagine being appreciated. Those things should already exist, right? And if you're constantly filling in the blanks, maybe you're holding on to the version of someone that isn't real to begin with. So now I want to ask you a question. No, I'm filled with these questions, y'all. Have you ever realized that you missed the idea of someone more than who they really were? Think about it. Think about that for a minute. Because a lot of us don't think about that, you know? Have you ever realized you missed the idea of someone more than who they really were? Put your answers in the comment. Yes, and it changed how you heal, or no, you missed the real person. Leave your answers in the comments because I really want to hear your perspective on this. And if this conversation spoke to you in some type of way, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who may need this reminder today. And remember that sometimes healing begins when someone leaves. I know, right? Sometimes healing begins the moment you stop chasing the version of them you created in your own mind. So until next time, keep speaking, keep healing, and never be afraid to unleash your inner voice. Later, everybody.
days. Slowly but surely it's a better space that'll waste my mind, so I meditate till I levitate. I elevate when I learn not to hesitate. No more, keep moving forward. Chase my goals and focus more towards it. Hate the lows, but I need those to flourish. Place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me. Breaking out of my shell, feeling yo shot quiet me, and now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole. Let's go. Promise you gon' see better. Hey, gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better. Hey, you gotta keep going till you see them.